We're good. I'd like to give a lot of credit to Ohio State and Coach Day. I think they've got a terrific team. They're built the right way in every area, really every level of the defense. They're talented. They're well coached. They don't make mistakes, and that shows up. You know, they can be at times. You look at defensively, they can be suffocating and take the air out of anything. You know, when a possible play could be there. They've got talent at every position offensively. There'd be some people that get upset with this statement, but that's what we're chasing. And that is right now in our league, they're setting the standard. So every single day working to chase that. And as soon as they're not that, then we'll continue the chase. But from recruiting, from development, from calling the game, to all those things, right now they are setting the standard. So it's our job to chase that, catch up, and I give them a lot of credit on how they're built and then how their kids go play. I thought there were some bright spots on the way that defensively we played today. You're on the field for 41 minutes. That's hard to sustain. But I thought there was some fight. You know, the second quarter got away from us. You know, a couple of plays, a takeaway that gave them a short field, and those things are hard to overcome against anybody, but certainly a team like that. But I did see and hear some progress. We're not there. We're not even anywhere close. But I look at, and in the fourth quarter, the song that comes on in the video of old school Purdue and the highlights about believing. I'm going to keep believing, and we will get back to winning ways for this program and all the great people that support it. I believe very, very strongly in that.
Just to touch on what you were talking about there at the start, like, what do you feel like is the most important next step in that process of getting Purdue to a place where it has a sort of talent in all those areas to pull off an upset of a game like this?
Yeah, it's retention of the roster that we have. It's addition through recruiting. It's development. It's belief. It's work. It's off-season. It's in-season habits. It's all combining, and it's not an easy race. Now, I said it early in the year. It is a sprint with no finish line, and you just got to keep chipping, and you got to keep fighting, and you got to keep scratching and clawing. And nobody said it was going to be easy. And we will get there. I have more belief today than I did last December. I've got more belief today than I did after the first game. It's just going to be hard. But I know exactly where we're at, what we need to do, and how we're going to get there. And I believe in that. So all those things, and then the next step would be to win. And how hard that is. Winning is hard. But nobody cares. We've got to find a way to break down that wall and get there. So we've got to learn from this one, and then we've got to get a great week of preparation for Washington and try to go play our A game on the road.
I didn't see if something happened to Malachi Thomas. Did something happen where he didn't come back in the game?
He did. I think he'll be fine for practice on Monday, I hope. It checked out after the game. Sounded like more of a deep bruise or contusion than anything real serious.
And obviously, you touched on this, their defense is next level, but you put together a 12-play drive, you lead after the first quarter. How do you get to the point where you can kind of sustain that over the course of games?
Yeah, that's the chase, right? The consistency of doing it, not only play after play, but drive after drive. You understand, we all understand that they're going to make some plays. We've got to overcome those. We can't have negative plays to make it harder than it needs to be. We can't turn the ball over. I did think the offensive line protected well against a really powerful rush team, and we've got to continue to stay ahead of the stick, stay ahead of if you're in 2nd and 4, that's okay. Even 2nd and 6 sometimes we don't need 2nd and 12. So that's sometimes easier said than done, but also take what they give you and try to find ways to win on third downs.
Barry, are you still pleased with the fight in this team?
I think we are showing progress in that category. We're still chasing what it looks like every single day.
And then just Charles Correa, can you speak to him at all? He got carted off.
Say it again?
Charles Correa got carted off.
Yeah, I didn't get a report yet on him. I haven't met with the medical staff yet. I will when I leave here.
You know, when you took this job, did you think it was going to be this difficult?
I didn't look and measure how difficult I thought it was going to be. Nothing worth having is easy in life. You've got to work for everything, and then sometimes things don't go your way. You know, the breaks don't fall that way. But I would rather look at opportunities that are upcoming on how we're building it, what we're going to do. And I think the future is really, really bright. We had our biggest recruiting day that we've had since I've been here as far as top prospects on campus. We've got 2 games left to go have an opportunity to fight for wins. And I believe in the foundation we're building. And it will be before long that we're going to play really meaningful games in the month of November.
Coach, you mentioned Ohio State kind of setting the standard in the conference. What does it do for the players and the team to go against that caliber of opponent in terms of the evolution and getting better and better?
I think every week in this conference you're going to play really good teams and great coaches. So there's things that we can use in teaching moments about our opponents and the experiences we've been through. You look at a team that now consistently is in the playoffs, and that how they're built, how they work, how they function, how they go compete and execute. Those are all things that we're working hard to get to.
Barry, you mentioned retention of talent and attracting talent both. How does being competitive, even in losses to teams like this, play into that as far as maybe even the culture that it helps create as you're trying to appeal to the guys to stick around and appeal to others outside?
Everything's so important, and recruits or prospects, they see absolutely everything. And then the communication, the vision that we can show them on how important they are to play to help us go win a championship, what their role looks like. The more that we get guys on campus, it's a lot easier to get them to say yes, because then the things you've talked about over and over and over, and then the player and the recruit and the family are here, they can see those things and they want to be a part of it. I think there's some things when you just get past the win-loss record. I think there's a number of people that will want to be here because they're going to get coached really well. They've got a chance to get a degree from one of the greatest universities in the world. And then the opportunities that they have here, there's not anything that they will be lacking of. So I think we're going to put together a really good class of a high school group, and then we'll attract some players that will help us immediately, either through junior college or transfer portal.
When you built this roster, obviously you're in win-now mode and you have to get experienced guys, but what was the balance you tried to strike where you talk about retention? You did bring in a lot of younger guys through the portal as well.
Yeah, I still believe in development of players. I really do. And then we got a number of guys that are, the one-and-done guys, and I just want them invested. I want them invested in Purdue. I want the logo to mean something to them. And the more that we can keep in the program and have another offseason and another training and those things, they may not be ready in their first year, but certainly if we've recruited the right way, we've developed the right way, and we coach them the right way, mentor, love, direct, and all those things, then year 2 and year 3, then we'll get guys ready to go play winning football.
Are you seeing the progress in the younger guys now 10 games in that you want to? Tramar Harris, for example, played for the first time today. Antonio Harris has played a lot more as of late. Some of these guys are stepping up.
There's a number of guys coming on. We have a developmental group lifting guy. They lift 4 days a week, and we get a report every day on how they're developing from speed and strength and explosion numbers, and that's trending in the right direction. And then through injuries and some of the things, and then development, you get a guy like Vanaz Cobb now that's playing a lot of football, and he played well. Antonio Harris would be another. Tramar you just mentioned. There's a number. We're still a young team when you look at it. So it's our job to get those guys in a position to try to play winning football, and I think we're moving in the right direction there.
More questions for Coach?
Any ways that CJ not only exemplifies a little bit what you're talking about, both in terms of the kind of player you want to attract, and then what a time at Purdue can do for that player?
Yeah, you look. I think he's. There's so much value in college football today, and guys that are just hungry. Guys that number one, they're grateful for the opportunity, and then they make the most of it because he's on a stage now that has prepared him and helped him for the next step of what his life will look like, and he's make the most of it. I mean, you watch how he studies in preparation, how he practices, his motor continues to run, and I do believe that guys that like to play the game, they really, really like football, okay? Not just the 3.5 hours to play on Saturday, but the process of preparing, the process of practicing, the habits, the recovery, all those things. There's still enough guys out there that you can win and win big with guys like that. He would be one of them.
Any more questions? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Shortly.